Okay, so in this video, we are going to make it 3D print ready, and let's actually just do that without, any intro or anything because, I suck at doing intros. So first thing first, it needs to be a one single object, but we cannot just join these together. We're gonna have to Boolean them, and in order to do that, first thing that we need to do is to make sure that the polygon count is a little bit low because right now the polygon count is a bit too much. As you can see, we don't need this much amount of polygons. So first thing first, we're gonna have to use the decimate, and I am gonna like look at here so that I can see if I'm not losing any of the details that I've just created. I don't wanna lose any details, and you can see with the point one, we are actually getting something like this. I guess we can go with point two, and I'm gonna do that. So let's just try point two. Maybe increasing the polygons a little bit. Right now, the decimation was a bit too much. So I think point two is going to work. Yeah, I think point two is going to work. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the ears and not build why I have a use tag, but let's do the decimate and try point two in the ears as well. So we can actually decrease it. As you can see, we have enough polygons that I can decrease it. And yeah, I think point one is working. I can actually decrease it even further, 0.05 maybe. Okay, point zero. Let's just try 0.02. Okay, this is actually good enough. I feel like we can work with this. So I'm going to apply it now. And the next one is this. So, yep, let's do the decimate and then try point one first, obviously. Not obviously, but because we've used the point one with each of these. So why not try and do that with this one as well? And it is taking its time. Okay, so it actually have decimated it and you can see the amount of polygons we have. I think it's gonna work. I am going to apply it as well. The only thing that is left is the tail. So after applying it, as you can see, Blender is taking its time. Okay, now it's time to do the tail. So I'm gonna do obviously the same thing and I'm going to try putting at point one. I think point one is a bit too pixelated, so I'm just gonna try point two or maybe increase it. Okay, I think point two is gonna work fine, so I'm just gonna apply it now. Okay, the only thing that we need to do is to make these a union. So I'm going to add the boolean now. I'm just going to apply it. I actually have forgotten to apply it with this one. Save the files, by the way. Make sure that you save the files because this is a destructive process. And if you want to go back, it's going to be hard for you to go back. In this case, the object is pretty simple, so I don't think I really need to go back. Now let's just do the boolean and we're going to be using the union obviously. So let's just select the ears first and then we're going to just see how well it is going to work. So we have the ears selected, let's apply it. And we have the ears, we can actually just put the ears or any of these objects to the backup. So backup collection and we can just disable the collection. So we have the ears now, as you can see. Now we're gonna be adding another boolean for the patches. So these patches basically, and now I am going to apply it as well. By the way, we are gonna be like using these that we are backing up as a color object. So it is I think good to just do that. And now I am going to select these and then just put these in the backup as well. And okay, I accidentally have selected the difference, so I'm gonna have to go back and put it at union and now apply it. Okay, wait, let me select the object and now I'm just going to apply it. Okay, I think it should work now, right? Yep, as you can see, we have this. Now the only thing that is left to do is the tail. Same process, we're gonna go to the Boolean union and then just select the tail. Now I am just going to apply it. So yeah, pretty much the same thing, I am just unioning them together, even if, is it a word by the way? Unioning. Okay, it is a funny word, not gonna lie, but I think we are done. So we have this object and it is 3D printable. I am 100% sure. And if you wanna check whether you have successfully done everything right or not, what you need to do, you need to press Alt B and then just hide one particular object. So in this case, I am hiding this one. And now if you were to go back, like go in this place, you can see whatever we had in the in the other side is now removed, and now we basically have this watertight mesh. So it is actually working okay. And as you can see, this is watertight as well. We don't have any holes. We don't have any artifacts. So it is working. Now we can actually press Alt B again, and we can actually, like see this in this one. So no artifacts. I think everything is fine. The ears are fine. And I guess we are good to go. We can actually check in the Cura if it is going to work or not. And I am just going to export it. Oh, by the way, this is actually important. Let's just say that you want this object in real life. I'm talking about in real life. Let's just say that you want to print it at 10 centimeters long or 10 centimeters like on the y-axis. If I were to go into the item, you can see on the y-axis, it is 4.67 meters, which means that you might be thinking, by the way, you might be thinking that in the real life, if you were to put this object into a 3D printer, you're going to get a 4.67-meter long giraffe. But that's not the case. Whatever you have here in meter in the dimensions in Blender, you are basically going to get that in millimeters. So 4.67 meter here is 4.67 millimeters in the real world when you actually use the Cura as a slicing software. And I am going to show you that, by the way. So let's just say that I want the length to be 10 centimeters in real life. I want to scale it up until I basically get 100 meters over here. So I'm just going to put it at like this. And because 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter, 100 millimeter is going to be 10 centimeter. In this case, 100 meter. So if I were to export it out, let's just export it out to OBJ. And now I'm going to open Cura. So Ultimaker Cura, here it is. And we're going to be importing it in, obviously, to see if it is actually working nicely or not. So we have this software over here, and now I'm just going to import it. So import planter 01. And I've told you, whatever we have meters in Blender, we're going to have millimeters over here in the Cura. I hope it is actually simple to understand, by the way. I really hope it is. So we're going to have to rotate it. Okay, so we have this over here, and on the y-axis, you can see we have millimeters. So meters got converted into millimeters, and that's how you would scale your object in Blender. And now we can actually just put it in the middle, for example, over here. And now we can actually just slice it on the 0.2 layer height is, I think it's going to work fine. So I'm just going to slice it, and let's see if it is going to work or not. I mean, I really hope that it does actually work. One thing that we might have to change is the ears, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so if I were to go into the preview, you can see that we are getting supports in some places. So let's actually just go down the layers, and this is going to be the first layer. So on the first layer, all the blues that you are seeing are the supports, and the red is going to be the outermost layer, and the yellows and the greens are going to be the inner layers. So if I were to gradually go up, you can see that we basically have started printing like this. I mean, it is going to be printing like this, and we are getting some supports over here, which we don't need. So what I can do actually, in order to simplify, I can just remove the support and reslice it so that it would be a little bit cleaner to look at. Okay, now we can actually just go back again. So we are going to be printing like this without the support now. And let's see. So we are printing nicely. And this is where the tail is going to get started, as you can see. So the tail is getting started, and it is printing nice. Very good. Okay, this is the problem that we are going to have to fix. You can see in the ears, if I were to go into the Blender, the ears, this part is not actually, like matched with the surface. And because of that, this part is actually going to get printed in the air. Like you can see over here, this part right over here, if I were to just do the like same view, this part is going to get printed in the air. And you cannot do that because of the gravity. So gravity is gonna work, and this part is just gonna get, dropped down, and the print is actually gonna get ruined. So we can do two things. We can actually either use the supports, or the second thing is we can actually go into the model and fix the ears. So we're gonna use the second option. We're gonna go to the model and fix the ears. But other than that, everything is fine. We are not getting the islands like this. This is what I'm talking about. Actually, I'm looking for these islands that I'm getting. Other than the ears, we are not getting these islands anywhere, which means everywhere else it is gonna work perfectly fine. So the only thing that we need to fix is the ears. So I'm just gonna go over here and let's just try and do that. I'm gonna go into the sculpt mode, and let's actually just try and fix the ears. So what we need to do, we need to make sure that the ears could be a little bit like this, and this is something that we can do to make the ears look like this. And now it is actually closer, so we can just put it like this. Okay, wait, let me fix it a little bit. Cool. And now we just need to push it in a little bit. So the idea is we don't want any supports, and that's why I'm actually changing the shape of the ears. So now we have the ears like this, and let's actually see. Okay, so we have the ears like this, and we still managed to create some nice looking ears over here. And now I think it is gonna work fine. So let's actually try and do it again. Let's actually try and export it now. And let's just check it again. So I'm gonna go into the prepare. And by the way, if you don't know this software, I'll make a separate video where I can actually explain you all the settings. But in this case, I think it is gonna be okay, because this particular tutorial is about making the model and not about the Cura settings. So I'm just gonna flatten this out. Now let's actually slice it again, so we can see whether we have fixed that particular part or not. And now let's go into the preview. By the way, it shows you how much material it is gonna use. So 47 gram is going to be its weight. And you can see so many of the cooler stuff. So now we are here. And if I were to go up, you can see that we are not actually getting any sort of islands, and it is just gonna print fine. So yep, we have fixed it, and it is just working fine. You can see we are getting the eyes, we are getting this nose, we are getting this line, and we are getting all of these patches. So yes, all the details that we have created are actually gonna come, and we are basically good to go in order to print it. I am not obviously gonna be printing it right now, but this is basically it for preparing it to 3D print. And in the next video, we are going to we are going to do some renders using this model that we have created. So I'm just gonna see you in the next one.